What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I see the titles going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Definitely wild, when it comes down to this. And I seen a clip, and I wanted to go over, a few things. Let's check it out right here.
You know who sat down?
Who?
You know who. He sat down for a wide-ranging interview with NBC's Tom Lamas, which will air before the Super Bowl. You don't have to watch it. I'm just telling you when it's on. And he was asked about the growing outrage over ICE raids in Minneapolis, that he claims the lives of two American citizens, the lives of two American citizens. Take a look.
Speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. And to me, it was a very sad incident, two incidents. And, they mentioned the one now, they don't mention the other. Well, I think they were both sad. And you know who feels worse about it than anybody? The people of ICE. I hate even talking about it. Two people out of tens of thousands, okay? Mm-hmm. And you get bad publicity.
My thing is they try to like take things out of proportion of like what a lot of what he's saying. I truly look at this on the fact that it's more of so much of a movement when it comes to these individuals in Minnesota of, more so of I don't want this to, make it seem like I'm saying this in a worse way, but it's just one of those things like we want this to happen to get a reaction and to give out and do the most, because a lot of individuals do that. They get ready for that. They get ready to, do crazy things when it comes to a lot of individuals, not even just ICE, federal agents, National Guard, police officers, law enforcement that's out there. They tend to do those things. They tend to loot. We've seen it so many times, when an individual do that. I didn't see that with my own two eyes of people literally getting hype of somebody passing away, for something. And a lot of times for something that they chose to do that is completely horrible. And in this sense, you see when it comes down to these two individuals that did pass, and I have to say something after that too. But these two individuals, you look at Renee Good. And you look at Renee Good and you see the whole thing, what happened with her, and people saying that she was trying to get away and she was doing this, do that. You see the car turn, regardless, I've heard from and seen from officers, even talked about that, and seeing, and you see it every day, you see it all the time, actually, when it comes to X, online, even a show, it's a show, a body cam show. And, you see that and people try to use those, their cars as weapons. And it's truly, truly insane when it comes down to it. One thing about it, though, when they good. And that's the thing. The stuff happened when they good. And people, again, got mad, and things, took a turn. And then things had calmed down. Then you have this Alex Pretty. And that turn it's more so of, and I don't again want to make it sound bad, but it literally just seems like they want things like this to happen. You have so many individuals that literally go and it's like, oh yeah, oh this happened, oh yeah, we about to go out here and do that, and get hype about it, rather than, and I just find it completely. And again, I've seen my own family do it before. And get hype about stuff. And when it comes down to doing horrible things, they go out of town, they go here, they go there. It's pretty sad, I definitely say, on how the world is now today, and how they do. I was just talking to Retro Steph. I was talking to my girl, and I was talking about the issue with, Bad Bunny. They mentioned Bad Bunny. And it's like so many people just want to stir up stuff. It's so many people that will post on their story or make posts, on Facebook or post on TikTok, Bad Bunny's music or different posts. And it's like, they have never mentioned Bad Bunny. They have known that Bad Bunny, and again, I've known for a few months now that Bad Bunny was doing a halftime show. We knew last year at some time. And people haven't, you know, people post music when it comes to them driving their cars. They'll post music when it comes to them making a post on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. TikTok videos, they have never, ever posted Bad Bunny's music whatsoever. But now since he's done the Super Bowl and the mainstream media have made something and blew something out of proportion, then everybody is ready to, oh, I love Bad Bunny and Bad Bunny is this and Bad Bunny is that. They have never, I mean, never. Not to say, you know, and I will never tell anybody not to listen to somebody or not to do it because I did music reaction myself. But when it comes down to it and how they made this whole thing, it's definitely sad. Definitely sad.
The audience is not having it.
Well, it goes to this question. Is that change of tone? I don't know what change of tone y'all are talking about. But is what he's saying going to make anybody feel any better about the situation? Because didn't the people say no more masks? They wanted identification. Yeah. They wanted body cams. And I didn't hear any of that. So is this kind of Band-Aid, this lightweight Band-Aid going to make any difference?
Well, he hasn't fired.
Okay, so when it comes down, and I don't think he should be fired. If she's talking about the ICE agents, I don't think any of them. You know, me personally, and that's just me. It's truly just me. I have to see more, you know, when it comes down to I don't know how y'all feel about it. I know the Renee Good situation for sure. I don't look at that. And with the Alex Pretty situation, this is something again that individuals, I do feel like, you know, when it comes to communication, I haven't looked back into it, you know, within that with Alex Pretty, but when it comes down to communication, because people said that the other agent had already took the gun and then it was shot, you know, stuff like that. But again, why put yourself in that position? When it comes down to the mask, if you know that individuals are constantly running a group text and, you know, these chat rooms and this, that, and the other, and they already have it out and assaulting and doing things to ICE agents, why in the world would they even want to show their face? When it comes down to undercover cops, even if you watching different things or seeing stuff online, they don't show their face. They don't do that because the safety of themselves, the safety for others, and the safety of their, you know, when it comes down to their family. So them sitting here in these chairs and saying they wanted this and they wanted that is not up to them. And for them to push this and to more so incite more violence is definitely sickening.
Difference?
Well, he hasn't fired Kristi Noem.
No.
Okay, Kristi Noem.
Kristi Noem is the
Again, still don't think Kristi Noem should be fired.
one who, right after a couple of these people were killed by ICE, immediately labeled them domestic terrorists without even skipping a beat.
Yeah.
And he hasn't. And I have to point out here that Jared Moskowitz, who is a Democrat from Florida, I want to show you a tape because he's on the same page as I am right now. Because Kristi Noem, the dog killer, remember who she is?
Cricket's killer.
She's the one who killed the dog, and the dog was not sick.
May she rest in peace.
Yes.
The dog, or
Chris.
Okay, here it is.
Cricket.
Time to fire her. Why hasn't it happened? I know what I need to do. I need to remind the president who he used to be.
You're fired. 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 You're fired.
You would fire the weakest link of your team. People loved it when you fired people, Mr. President. But now someone convinced you firing people is weakness. That's why ratings are down, Mr. President.
So he's saying, you know, he fires everybody, but not the people.
I'm confused on what ratings he's talking about. I'm not gonna lie. I'm truly confused on what ratings he's talking about. I want to check something out right quick. Let me check something out. I didn't even mean to do this. I didn't even want to do this. I actually had an Elon Omar video that I was supposed to do today, but everything got deleted. I've been down on myself about it, but I'm trying to pick myself back up. Everything got deleted, and now y'all supposed to have 2 videos instead of 1 today. But try to get back at it tomorrow. But I want to look. They said that's why ratings are down. Ratings wasn't down the last time I checked. I literally just looked. It was CNN. Was it CNN? It was something with CNN. I might not be able to find it, but it was something with CNN. And they ran, that was back in 2016. Let's go. I'm just trying to make a lot make sense, y'all. You know what I mean? Because I don't like when they sit here and they get on this show and they post things that are complete lies. I'm gonna try to find it. Hopefully I find it, and I'm gonna send a link while we're watching this. But hopefully I can find it. I can't find it right now, y'all. But I actually seen a video today, about that. Let's check it out.
That would really give it a soft touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're overburdening their own system. There was a immigration attorney, Julia Lee, who admitted to a judge that she wanted him to hold her in contempt so she could go away for 24 hours to jail to rest because she had 88 cases given to just her.
She used to work for ICE and as an attorney, and then she transferred over to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota to help with the immigration cases and received 90 cases. And the judge is yelling at her, and she's like, you know what? Please put me in jail so I can get some
Well,
free.
and then she says, what do you want me to do? And he's like, if anything, this ought to be a warning, kind of, saying you guys are overburdening. And they're not getting it right beyond the deaths of 2 citizens and the kind of the citizen on citizen looking Civil War appearance of all this. You've got 73% booked into detention centers of these people have no criminal record whatsoever. They've also snagged 170 U.S. citizens.
Oh, it's right on it,
5%
That we know of.
Yes, only 5% had violent criminal convictions. So you're not even getting it right. You're overburdening the system with false things, and people are being detained.
It was never about really finding the criminals, was it? It was always about causing chaos, making everybody
but you're
scared.
literally breaking the whole system.
Well, and to that point, though, so 65% of Americans have said that ICE has gone too far, and that's 10 points up among Republicans in the last year alone, because they're seeing this and they were promised it's going to be the worst of the worst. It's going to be convicted criminals, which 97%.
Let me explain something to y'all when it comes down to this. And like said, you look at these approval ratings, and I'm mad I didn't have this in here. I've had a tough day, I'm not gonna lie, especially within my links getting deleted that I was supposed to actually have within my videos. But one thing about it, when people say that they think that ICE has gone too far, that brings me back to the whole thing of the world has definitely America in general. Things are definitely wild. It's different. It's sickening and sad. And I say that because you have so many individuals that posted, Barack Obama, Michelle, Mike, whatever y'all know what I mean. That posted these 2 individuals. And what I find crazy about it is that he deported more. And nobody was talking about it then. And that just goes to show you that a lot of these individuals, and I always watch. I sit back and I watch. I'm not a person that if I see somebody that I was friends with or somebody that I know or a family member post and, talk about this, and have something to say. And a lot of these individuals don't know anything. It's more of that they want to get a reaction out of somebody. They want to hype, stuff up. And it's definitely sad because a lot of these individuals, as soon as the Super Bowl was over, it was a day after, 2 days after, nobody else has talked about it. Nobody else has talked about it whatsoever. They haven't talked about Bad Bunny. They haven't said anything about Trump. They haven't said anything about these ICE agents. They haven't said nothing about, they haven't said anything about nobody. They don't know what they're talking about. It's something that they see on social media. It can be easy, just like the whole thing with the kid. People, are talking about, the kid. Oh, ICE detained this kid and this, that, and the other. No. If y'all actually look at the simple fact, and the White House actually posted, that the father ran. It'd have been something else if ICE would have just left the kid just sitting there, right? Oh, they just left the kid just standing there while they chased it. A different story, or they used him as bait, supposedly. It's stuff like that gets on my nerves. And then you have people post it. Oh, ICE did this and ICE did that. I find it completely insane. I truly find it completely insane. Regardless, then they talk about people that have gotten unalive, and Trump's ICE agents and this, that, and other. Everything that has been happening has happened with Obama or worse. But so many people actually don't look up that information because they are followers. They don't look up and see anything. They sit here and it's so sickening and so sad that people don't actually pay attention. And so much of them being on their phones, on their computers, on their iPads, Just as quick as they can post something and see something that's been posted by another individual, is just as easy for them to look it up somewhere else. And I just truly find it insane. I truly find it insane that people don't actually just try to pay attention. Just try to pay attention. What I also find insane is that, these women continue to bash ICE agents and sit here and try to make it, they pick sides. They pick sides. And by all means, I'll always say, when it comes down to Alex Pretty, when it comes down to Renee Good, I don't like, that an individual has lost their life. Never that. I don't like the situation, that unfolded to where these individuals have put themselves in when it comes to Alex Pretty, having that, weapon. And, it's stuff like that. Him actually kicking ICE. It's just that this wasn't just one case. But again, this is stuff that other individuals that's making these posts on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they don't see. They don't see these things. That's what people fail to realize. They don't see these things. They see the other side. They see, oh, he was a nurse and he didn't do anything wrong. He did nothing wrong. They did this. They look at the good about it. They don't look at what he's actually done, what he's actually in, who he's in with, what the whole story of it, Renee Good and how she is. They don't look at none of that. They don't care to. And what I find even more sickening about this whole thing that makes me so mad is the simple fact that they never, and I mean they never, talk about the lost lives of these innocent children or innocent young adults or just plain U.S. citizens that have lost their life due to these illegal aliens that they're trying to get, that they're trying to send back. That's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with these ladies constantly getting everybody riled up to where it's okay. We need more action. We need more of this. Somebody else get out here and do something insane to where we can have something else to talk about. Something else to get everybody fired up. That's what's so sickening when it comes down to everything that's going down in the world right now. That's what's sickening. And I truly find it insane. I find it crazy, and it saddens me. It saddens me every day. Just seeing, I sat there and I talked to my nana. I'm like, man, Nana, it just seems like everything it's just been going soft. You can't even sit here and listen to your a comedian back in the day. If you see like different stand-ups from back in the day and what they talk about, they can never talk about. They could talk about it today, but then it'd be all such and such did this and had people feeling this way. Grow up, laugh a little, enjoy life. You know what I mean? I feel like so many people enjoy life. Why sit there and try to get people fired up? There's no reason for that. I feel like what Trump is doing, I definitely feel like what Trump is doing, what Trump administration is doing, I feel like definitely there's going to be flaws. There's going to be cons, pros and cons. Y'all know me. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh, yeah, everything that President Trump is doing is perfect, because nobody's perfect. Everything Trump is doing is not perfect. But I'm not about to sit here and say that things that he's doing is just not great, because they are. He's doing a great job. Trump administration is doing a great job. There are things I want them to do when it comes to actually doing more than investigating with certain things and actually putting some handcuffs on somebody or deporting an individual. Other than that, I'm telling y'all, and I'm sorry for the rant, y'all. It just makes me so mad, and I get so frustrated about these things, because it's just people actually have to grow up. People have to listen. I'm not telling y'all to pick sides on who to vote for. All I'm telling y'all is that do your own research and pay attention to what's going on. Because what these ladies are feeding you and other individuals are feeding you is BS. Because guess what? Like I've always been saying since day one of doing these videos, when it comes down to The View or anybody else that has a driver, that they have that. They live in a gated community. They live in mansions and got more than 6 bathrooms. More than 4 or 5 cars. Land. Other houses. Vacation homes. So with all that being said, these individuals that's constantly pushing this, is it worth it? Is it worth it to go out here and actually want to, you know, and not to say, but you will want something to happen to you or happen to a loved one based off what these individuals are feeding? That's something to think about. And that's why it's important to think before you speak.
Of Americans support deporting those people once they've had due process. But there's this poll that I've noticed fellow Republicans keep going back to that says basically 47% of Americans support mass deportations. Anyone who came here undocumented should go back. I reject that. I think that there is far more nuance to that. I think that people answer a poll and they're like, yeah, I guess if you came here and you broke the rules, you should go back. But when it's in your community, when it's a caregiver you know, when it's someone working at your local restaurant, when it's somebody that you've known and loved and seen invest in your community, they feel very different. And that's why these numbers are plummeting.
Yeah.
I want her to say it
poll and
again.
they're like, yeah, I guess if you came here and you broke the rules, you should go back. But when it's in your community, when it's a caregiver you know, when it's someone working at your local restaurant, when it's somebody.
So all of this of what they're clapping about and what Alyssa is saying, and again, y'all know I'm a person, you know, I'm a child of God and I absolutely love it. I'm pretty sure Alyssa Ferry Griffin, you know, has had a boy, I'm pretty sure today. Congrats. Definitely congrats. One thing about it is that, you know, it's a new child, you know, definitely amazing when it comes down to it. Still a child at the end of the day, and had a successful, you know, pregnancy. You know, so it's definitely, I definitely got to get it, you know, to her. But other than that, what she's speaking about is absolutely insane to me. It's absolutely insane because I look at the simple fact, y'all, that again, this is something that she's talking about. This is your neighbor. This is somebody that worked in a grocery store. This is somebody that has owned this shop or this, that, and the other. What about the kids? What about the kids that lost their life to, you know, illegal aliens? Somebody that ain't even belong here. What about that? My thing is that the same energy that you giving these individuals that obviously are considered, you know, criminals, come here illegally, have that same energy for the lost lives of these children. Have that same energy. That's what I don't like. I'm telling y'all, it's definitely sickening. One thing about it, the Trump administration, President Trump, you know, the FBI, ICE, everybody, they're doing an amazing job. Y'all are doing an amazing job. You watching this, you're doing an amazing job. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep staying positive and don't let nobody ruin your day ever. Because with what these ladies got going on, I'm telling y'all, it's not safe, it's not healthy, and it's not right. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe, and definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.